Hey guys, today we're at Menards looking for some insulation. We're going to help you guys learn a thing or two about insulation. So before we get too far into this, let me give you a little definition of insulation. Various forms of insulation are included as a means of reducing the transmission of thermal energy through walls, ceilings, and floors. Insulation helps keep heated areas warmer in the winter and air-conditioned places cooler in the summer. So now that we know what insulation does, let me tell you which insulations we're going to be looking at. First, we're going to be looking at fiberglass insulation. Then we're going to take a walk to where the cellulose and mineral wool insulations are located. Then we're going to go find some spray foam. Follow me. Alright guys, now that we've found some insulation out here in the barn, let's talk about the first type. It's fiberglass insulation, which is right here, and it comes in rolls. And there are two different types of rolls you can get. One is faced and the other is unfaced. Unfaced insulation does not have a paper or denim face on the front of it to help you install it and make sure that you don't touch it when you are installing it. Faced has a paper and or denim face on it to help you install it evenly and make sure that you don't touch it, as well as help prevent against fires. So now that we've talked about the types, let's talk about the cost. Rolled insulation is fairly cheap when it comes to all other insulations at about 67 cents a square foot. And with that being said, you can buy it in rolls that are pre-cut for your 8-foot or 9-foot roofs, or you can buy it in long just rolls that you have to cut yourself and put together. And so the next thing we're going to talk about is the R value, which is right up here. And the R value means the kind and the type of thermal resistance that it has, which allows heat to go in and out of the walls, and how well it keeps your place warm.
Oh, hey, Josh, what's up, dude? I didn't see you there. What are you doing here?
Why are you looking at insulation?
Well, cause it's like, just try it, dude. It's like soft. It's like a pillow.
It is like a pillow.
I didn't even know you were here.
Yeah, I'm looking for spray foam the other side.
I saw that inside, but I gotta run, so I'll talk to you later.
All right. I don't know about that guy, Tyler. He's a weirdo. He should have known I was here. I drove him here. Second kind of insulation that I'm going to show you is spray foam. There's two different types of spray foam, open cell and closed cell. This one is open cell, and it's used for more wall cavities and ceiling cavities, kind of cracks and stuff like that. Closed cell is used for more dense stuff, attics, exterior walls, interior walls, just more dense stuff, more stuff that is going to get wet because it's waterproof. Closed cell has higher R values. Open cell has lower R values. So if you were going to do a house, you would most likely do closed cell because it's better. Price-wise, it's more expensive than cellulose, mineral wool, and fiberglass, but it's pretty worth it. Taking it out though sucks. You have to like scrape it, and it takes a while. And with closed cell, the applications, you have to apply it multiple times because it's only 1 inch thick. And then with open cell, it's 3 inches thick. But again, closed cell is more dense and it works better, it insulates better, it's soundproof. So how you apply it is, well, with this we only have cans, and normally it's kind of like in a propane tank type thing. And you have a spray gun like this, and you just spray it where you want it and how much you want it. Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, what's up?
What are you doing here?
I'm looking for cellulose insulation.
I found spray foam and it actually looks really good. Did you ever try to eat it?
No, I don't think I would. I'm gonna go.
I mean, I heard Josh saying he was thinking about eating spray foam, and at first I thought it was kind of crazy, but then I was like, wait, it probably does taste pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
I saw Tyler and Josh over there eating spray foam, so I'm kind of concerned. Cellulose insulation helps with the thermal protection of a home, and it is a mixture of recycled newspaper and wood. If you can see it right here, you can see like little bits of newspaper in it. Its cellulose insulation is a small alternative to fiberglass. It provides a green, efficient, non-toxic, affordable solution that's worth considering. Typically, cellulose insulation is cheaper than fiberglass. Cellulose insulation becomes less effective over time, causing energy to rise and comfort in your home to decrease. There's multiple types of cellulose insulation that are readily available at places like Menards, and it comes in three varieties: blown-in, loose fill, dense pack, and wet spray. It can be used in both existing homes and construction depending on the type of cellulose used, and it's typically used in attics. Blown cellulose, typically installed in attics, needs the help of two individuals when putting it in, and it can be easily installed with the proper equipment. Sprayed cellulose is used in like open wall cavities in new construction and is installed at a high density. It can be installed in one day, but it usually has to be done by professionals, and it can be really messy. Cellulose insulation is considered green and is made up about 80% of recycled newspaper treated with compounds that resist fire, insects, and mold. Cellulose insulation is a durable and safe insulation that usually helps with fire protections, and it's usually permanent fire resistance. The insulation can soak and hold water, but in extreme cases, water can degrade its thermal value. And cellulose insulation provides air blocking properties that other insulations do not, like fiberglass, which entails why cellulose has a shorter lifespan than most other insulations.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Just looking for mineral wool.
Oh, I'm just talking about cellulose insulation. If you want to feel it, you can.
Sure.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, sure. Why'd I get put in this group? Today I'm going to talk about mineral wool, which is a type of insulation made of rock that was heated and spun to create fibers that are formed into basts. Commonly used in Europe and Canada, mineral wool is making a comeback in America. Mineral wool is usually more expensive than fiberglass insulation. This type of insulation costs 25 to 50% on a square foot basis more than fiberglass. Fiberglass costs between 57 and 72 cents per square foot for a 2x6 wall, while mineral wool insulation for the same wall runs about $1 to $1.10 per square foot. Mineral wool can be hard to find in variation due to lack of use in the United States right now. Some mineral wool baths must be specially ordered for variations, which can cost more. Ordering special baths is something one can do at Home Depot or Lards or Menards. Unlike other insulations, mineral wool is maintenance-free and most likely will not need a replacement. Mineral wool is one of the most water-resistant types of insulation, with only foam insulation being more resistant. This insulation type does not absorb water, allowing it to stay intact while wet. On top of being water-resistant, it is also permeable, which allows the water to escape, and vapors will also be able to escape. One may think that mineral wool would easily become moldy, however, it has no food source. With no food source, mineral wool cannot grow mildew or mold. If a fire were to occur, the bats are able to maintain their shape and provide superior protection against flame spread than other insulation types. Another plus to mineral wool is that it can be combined with special fire-rated sheathing in order to create a 1-hour fire-rated assembly. While the average house fire burns at around 1100 degrees Fahrenheit, mineral wool insulation will melt until 2150 degrees Fahrenheit. Along with mineral wool having a very high melting point, it is also non-combustible. Mineral wool bats, which are denser than fiberglass insulation, will hold their shape. Contractors usually prefer mineral wool bats to fiberglass insulation due to the insulation being denser. People working with the bats are capable of easily cutting the bats to fit the stud spaces by marking the measurements of the stud spacing on the bats. This is done by dragging the hook of their tape measure across the bat. The mineral wool bats can be carved to accurately and tightly fit around outlets and pipes due to their density. Mineral wool bats can fit tightly into oddly shaped spaces for added thermal efficiency. The bats are made to fit standard 16-inch or 24-inch on-center stud spaces. If one must cut the bats down to a different size, they can do so with a serrated knife or specified saw. Although mineral wool tends to cost more than other insulation types, the durability and ease of installation make the cost justifiable. Mineral wool is easy to work with, and once you put it in, you most likely don't have to worry about it having to be replaced. Even though variation bats must be special ordered, over time the mineral wool will pay for itself.
Alright guys, now that you've heard about all the installations we did, fiberglass, spray foam, cellulose, and mineral wool, we're going to tell you which installation we chose for the house on Vine Street and why. We chose fiberglass insulation for the house on Vine Street because of the cost, the age of the house, the ease of installation of the insulation, and the fact that it has multiple R ratings that you can use, and it's easily replaceable if something were to happen. So now you know what our pick for the insulation on Vine Street is. Although there are good qualities about all the insulations, like the spray foam, once it's in there, it's there to stay. It can't get wet. With cellulose, it's blown in and it works really, really well. And with mineral wool, it's fairly fire retardant. But overall, we just had to choose the fiberglass insulation for the house on Vine Street.
Second is cellulose, the third mineral wool, and the fourth spray foam. Now, pause it. The cost of fiberglass insulation is fairly cheap at about $67.
Square foot basis more than mineral.
Hi, I am. The advantages to closed cell is it's easy to use. Damn it. Just stop it.
It's worth considering because it's. I messed up.